Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton, and we invite you to recline back your chairs, ease all of your cares, as we present to you our NXT review. Now, we know that New Year's Evil is next week, so how was NXT tonight? And I would say overall it was a very solid show, some really fun matches, some exciting stuff, promo and vignette-wise, particularly my favorite undercard angle in NXT right now. We know it's coming to a head next week at New Year's Evil. That might low-key be one of the things I'm most hyped for, just to see how they do. Mercedes Martinez's first official match back in NXT. And all throughout the night, we got awards doled out. Some I agreed with, others I vehemently disagreed with. And actually a surprisingly fun main event that I didn't think they would give the time of day, at least to the extent that they did, with a great undercurrent of a story throughout the night. So yeah, I think overall I'm coming in on a 7.5 out of 10. Brother, we're live now. I know you were kind of hashing out your score. You said you were feeling a certain range. How'd you feel about NXT tonight?
Yeah, really kind of looking over it. I think I'm going to stick with what I told you before we went live, and that's an 8. That said, though, I know Javaris and Chiefin are both here. They watched AEW, so I think now would probably be as good a time as ever to just kind of say we, just want to kind of acknowledge the tragic passing of John Huber. Rest in peace. It's really one of the biggest surprises of the year, biggest tragedies of the year. Along similar lines to Hana Kimura, although in this case it wasn't necessarily self-inflicted. It was apparently it was some kind of random medical anomaly. Apparently he had been in the hospital for like almost 2 months. They couldn't figure out what the hell was wrong with him. It's really, really sad. And he was always one of those guys that I think John and I both wished would have gotten more to do when he was in WWE, and it was really cool to see him finally really getting an opportunity to shine in AEW. And it's just a really sad, tragic example of a life that should not have ended as early as it did. So I don't know if you want to add anything to that, John, or if you just want to move on from this.
No, I think you said it perfectly. I don't want to belabor the point. But we are kind of rolling along with NXT tonight. We're going to just do business as usual. So
yeah, because I know AEW's show tonight was pretty much an entire show dedicated to Brody. Pretty much everybody either did moves that he did, war gear that was dedicated to him, did some kind of tribute to him. I know Britt Baker even cut a really quick little tiny quip into one of her promos where she just mentioned Big Rig, which is apparently a nickname that he earned in Chikara. So it was like a full-blown Brody Lee appreciation night tonight on AEW. And I just wanted to acknowledge that before we get into NXT, because I know that a lot of the people that are here are AEW fans and probably watched that show, and Javaris and Chief and even both said that they were still feeling emotional from AEW. We hope that we can just kind of get you guys feeling a little bit better. I know obviously we can't actually fix what has you sad in the first place, but hopefully we can entertain you just enough to maybe distract you and get your mind off of it. And let's talk about NXT, John.
Yeah, like I said, we're just going to go business as usual, so I don't want to step on any toes or jar the mood, but we do open with Heat of the Night on this show. I do have the pickiest of nits I want to address.
Interesting.
And I hate that it came down to this. I just need to air the, again, pickiest of nits with the LDF promo. Oh. Nothing to do with any of the guys, because I love Escobar, but two things that I had a problem with, and they kind of go hand in hand. For one thing, Escobar is acting like, I've got no challengers, Regal scouring the world. And this problem is two-pronged, at least for me. One, are we just going to forget about Kurt Stallion, who won that Fatal 5-Way on 205 Live?
Did he maybe already get his shot on an episode of 205 Live and we just didn't see it?
If Foster could clear that up for me, I would appreciate it. Again, I know this isn't exactly the best time given the emotions of everything, but if somebody could clear up for me if he did get his shot, I would appreciate that, because
I
feel like
he hasn't. I'm looking right now. 11-11 NXT Cruiserweight number one contendership Fatal 5-Way. He won, and he has not had a title shot. So I just wanted to, I checked Cage Match, and yeah, he hasn't had a title shot. But it looks like he also hasn't wrestled since December 9th. So I'm also wondering if maybe he's injured.
That could be possible. Yeah, and no, it's fine, Foster. I'm glad you chimed in. If it's an injury, obviously I'd make an excuse. You know how we do with Heat of the Night or even nitpicks. If they have a legitimate reason, we just let go of it. But yeah, if it's not an injury and they're just kind of sitting on their hands, I kind of have to just be like, he could have interrupted here. He could have staked his claim. And then the other problem, and this is just me being petty, admittedly, because I can't stress enough that I do like Grand Metalik. Mm-hmm. However, you've got to understand where I'm coming from here. When you have Escobar have a line that Regal is scouring the world for a challenger, and then Lucha House Party interrupt. Do you see how expectation and reality violently clash here?
You know what, though? I don't necessarily think that Lucha House Party were supposed to be the sort of ace up Regal's sleeve that Escobar might have been referring to. I think they just kind of showed up because they felt like their Lucha Libre was being threatened. You know what I mean?
And that's fair. And by the way, Foster just said that he's wrestled since that 5-way, so I double down on my first part of the nitpick.
Yeah, I think he's had like 3 matches since then, but he hasn't wrestled since December 9th.
Right, okay. So it still has been 3 weeks. It could go either way, really, at that point. I can give you that. It just, man, really, it's not even a Dorado or Metalik problem. It really is a booking problem because...
Dude, I'm going to be real. I was actually in the bathroom during the LDF promo, and then I heard Lucha House Party's music hit, and I, rushed to finish because I was hoping we would get Kalisto versus Santos. And then I remembered, oh, shit, that's right. They kind of had a falling out, and Kalisto's not actually with them anymore. God damn it.
Yeah.
Did Kalisto get released earlier this year?
Not that I'm aware of. He's just another one that just kind of dropped.
Yeah, man. What the hell?
Yeah, I have no idea what's going
on.
Is he
injured?
He might be, but Javar is saying in chat, I feel like they were capitalizing on Metalik pinning Miz. Was that this past Monday? Because you got to remember, Javaris, we were doing our Among Us in the Discord, which if you guys want to get in on Among Us nights, $3 to enter the TWitWoW Discord.
It looks to me like Kalisto just isn't being used because he's wrestling.
She even said he was on SmackDown last week. I honestly don't remember that.
Yeah, I mean, if he was, he didn't wrestle. The last match that he wrestled was a Battle Royal on the Survivor Series kickoff. And that was, a little over a month ago. It was like a month and a week ago. So I think he's probably available to use, and they just aren't using him, which is fucking ridiculous to me because why wouldn't you have him just come down to NXT? We've seen examples where people are a heel on NXT and then a face on the main roster already. So why not do the opposite? Why not have Kalisto rejoin Lucha House Party? And then you could have a 3-on-3 match. You could have all 3 members of LHP versus all 3 members of LDF and set up for a Kalisto versus Escobar match, which I'm far more interested than Escobar versus either of the other guys of LHP. But knowing what we do know now, I'm at least glad that they picked the best remaining member of LHP to be Santos's next opponent.
Yeah, so I'm just learning a lot in chat because Metalik did pin Miz on Raw before he got the briefcase back and everything. Oh. I don't know, man. Again, it is a nitpick. I don't want to make it seem bigger than what it is. I am just a huge fan of LDF, and I've been loving Escobar. So, I guess this really does come down to me, which is why we always classify things like that as nitpicks. Yeah. Because you have a guy that I think is so well booked in Escobar, dresses the part, talks the part, sure as fuck wrestles the part. And I'm thinking, that it's going to be similar to a Tyler Breeze, Jushin Thunder Liger moment, where, oh my God, Regal's found somebody so great because, Escobar really is. He emanates untouchable, right? Mm-hmm. And then that music hits, and I'm not going to lie, I was disappointed. However, that said, just to kind of put a neat little bow on all this, we did learn that we're getting Metalik versus Escobar next week for the Cruiserweight title, and that should genuinely be a good match.
I love Metalik. Yeah, Metalik is one of those guys, too, where it's a lost potential, because I feel like we were really, really, really into him when he was in New Japan doing tag matches with, Liger and Tiger Mask and stuff, and then he left, and he was in the CWC, and he blew everyone away in the CWC. And then he went to 205, and suddenly his matches stopped being interesting. So I hope that he's able to kind of show off again in his match against Escobar next week.
Yeah, I agree with you. So anyway, I cede the floor to you, man. I just wanted to air that. I guess it's more my fandom for LDF than anything, and I want them to do big shit. But yeah, that's really the only complaint I've had about tonight's show. I think I really don't think anything else made me angry or anything. And,
well, you did mention having a problem with awards. I'm curious what you.
Well, it's not really anything. I just disagree. Like, for example, match of the year, Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly. Like,
that,
I almost.
Yeah, I that was really the only one that I had any problem with. Every other one I either like agreed with or understood why they did it, but that was like, what the hell? That really felt like one of those like recency bias or maybe just straight up rigged kind of things.
Yeah, no, first of all, I agree with you 100%. And second of all, let me just confirm something. Okay, yeah, this isn't my overrated match of the year, so I feel safe to talk about this. If you guys want to find out what my actual overrated match of the year is, tune in tomorrow at 7.
Tomorrow night! Oh my god, it's so close. It's like actual Christmas tomorrow.
And Mark's like fan voted awards though, and even so, Mark, like I think my criticism would stand to a point. I worry that we're overrating a match where guys legitimately hurt each other. Yeah. Like that. I don't really like that.
I really hated. Yeah, that was probably my biggest qualm with this. Is like, y'all really voted for the match where you got two guys legitimately get injured, or at least one for sure. I don't know if Kyle O'Reilly was legitimately injured, but he sure as hell sold it like he was.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest, like Javaris said in chat, personally, because I did go back and watch that match, I thought Walter versus Dragunov was better. But, like, I had my
So I never bothered to watch that match, but the two matches that I would consider for match of the year, if we're only counting NXT, are Io Shotzi, and then, I don't even know if you remember this, this is kind of a throwback to early in the year, but Broserweights versus Grizzled Young Vets, Dusty Classic Finals.
Yeah, oh my god, that was a lifetime ago. I mean, it was this year.
It was. I think it was in like February or something, but it was definitely this year, yeah.
Funny you mention that because we know that the Dusty Classic is returning in 2 weeks.
It is? I know, dude. I'm so excited. I love the Dusty Classic. And it's like every year I feel like I get disappointed by the results, but then I find myself looking forward to it the following year. It's like the new Royal Rumble for me or something.
Yeah, dude, I love it. I always love to see what teams they've gotten together and everything. And I'm just going to say right now, because again, I don't think we're spoiling anything because it has nothing to do with the content we have coming up. GYV, I think, have to be considered the favorites for the
way that they've been running roughshod. Unless we get like a mashed together tag team of like Bronson Reed and Cameron Grimes, I fully expect GYV to win it this year.
Yeah, I completely agree. So, yeah, I guess for me, again, because it wasn't my overrated match of the year, I just wanted to have a quick sidebar and say, I don't like that I don't want to say fetishizing because that's too strong a word, but I don't like that we're really celebrating a match where guys legitimately hurt each other. Because there's a reason why, just to give you a parallel matchup that I really did like this year, and again, I'm not spoiling any awards, fucking Sonata versus Ibushi for G1 Climax Finals. And I talk about why I love Sonata so much. Everything he does looks so good, and yet you know he's protecting the guy he shares the ring with.
Yeah.
Like, he ain't the one making Ibushi take those neck bumps. That's on him. That's how he defines his art, and that's his business. But Sonata is so crisp and so good in there, you know he's not going to break a guy's jaw. You know he's not going to bruise his ribs. And it's still going to be an immaculate match. We need to really create a culture where, hey, you don't actually have to forearm the guy. Work it well. Be good at the performance, and everything else will take care of itself, because it already hurts when you've got thin padding in the fucking ring, and then the floor, and then you do all the crazy stuff. So, yeah, I worry. I worry about how we're celebrating this match, especially because, again, I think it's almost an insult to the workers, too, kind of looking at it from a different angle, that the best thing they did was get hurt, when we know Kyle and Finn are much better wrestlers than how they get fucking hurt in the ring. Yeah. So, I just really wanted to have that sidebar. I appreciate you letting me have that. Is there anything else you wanted to say? Because I don't even think you've aired any heats that you've had unless you don't have any.
Well, I think my biggest heat of the night is actually the very first match that we got on the show. Why the fuck are you putting two guys that should be getting pushed at the same time against each other?
Yeah. Oh, God. Dude, you know, in fact, let's just say we're getting right into our NXT review. Because I'll say here, I groaned when Bronson Reed's music hit. Because, again, if they want to push Bronson Reed, that's their business, and all I ask is that they do it well, even if I don't like him personally. And I do like the theme music, and he's got a good look and whatever. He's so boring to me. And I'm like, I knew he was going to beat Swerve, but to Swerve's credit, dude, he bumped his ass off for Bronson.
Yeah.
I think.
You know why I hated this match, though? Because to me, this match might as well have been the powers that be in NXT explicitly telling any Swerve fans, fuck you, he's a cruiserweight. He's never going to be anything more than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, he kind of hung with Bronson Reed a little, but, like, I feel like Bronson Reed no-sold a lot of his stuff. And, like, I get it. Like, Bronson Reed is supposed to be, like, this new monster that they're kind of rehashing or revamping now and trying to make him look better. But, like, you didn't bury Swerve, but you did kind of bury his credibility against heavyweights here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think you put it brilliantly. I don't really know what I can add to that you didn't already say. I'll give Swerve credit for, again, bumping his ass off for Reed. I thought Reed's shoulder block off the apron, the way Swerve sold that was fantastic. But yeah, dude, like, okay, so you couldn't get more of a stark contrast, right? Because Swerve turned heel because, Jake Atlas beat me.
Yeah.
And, fuck that because I'm better than Jake Atlas. And what did he do to beat Jake Atlas most recently?
Headbutt.
The headbutt. Fucking Reed
you will Pacific Islander, right? Of course he's going to no-sell it. That's why the concept of this match being a thing in the first place. Like, notice, we'll call this a heat of the night. My heat of the night isn't Bronson Reed beating Swerve. My heat of the night is this match happening at all. Because there's literally no way to do this match that benefits two guys that are both supposed to be being pushed at the same time right now. Which is why I'm just against this match completely in general.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, if you had to do this match, you know what I was kind of hoping would happen? Because you know that he's not going to beat Bronson Reed. We all knew he wasn't going to beat Bronson Reed. What I was hoping for personally was, because obviously you want to make Bronson Reed look dominant, maybe he does overwhelm Swerve, which wouldn't avoid, admittedly, your complaint. But then, so he gives Reed the count-out victory because he just nopes out of it. He's like, fuck this. I'm not in the mood for this. And then fucking Atlas comes out, and he does what we've seen before, that whole spot where you put the guy back in the ring, and it's like, haha, I got you. And then, Reed gets the tsunami. I think what angers me, because we knew the loss was inevitable, we knew all this was inevitable, so again, I really do agree with you ultimately, why even have the match? I don't like, though, that you did everything at Swerve's expense, including just completely nullifying his heater with the headbutt. If he would have just taken the count-out loss and then Atlas gets the one-up on him, you further that feud. Bronson doesn't lose a goddamn thing, and Swerve still loses a bit. I'm not going to deny that, but at least you could say it was more just he decided to nope out, apathy, cowardice, whatever you want to call it.
Right, and then, of course, you could have Bronson hit him with, like, a big splash or a headbutt or something in the ring to lay him out for the tsunami, and you could say, oh, it caught him off guard, he wasn't ready for it, whatever.
Exactly.
Whereas the way that they did it, you didn't really protect anyone.
Yeah, like, they just really showed Bronson Reed straight up outperformed, in that way, Swerve. Yeah. And like, I think it just, God, dude, I don't know what kind of a mood I'm in tonight, and I apologize to everybody, because I know we were like, oh, let's be more positive, but it does kind of hurt a little bit when I feel like Swerve had such a, that feud with Escobar was so fucking good. And I'm like, he could only go up.
And it was one match.
Yeah. And, yeah, like, here we are. Here we fucking are. So it's just, it's really disheartening that he goes from a great feud with Escobar, with the loaded mask, and then the takeover match, which was fucking exceptional, to now he's being treated like a joke, relative to heavyweights. So yeah, Bronson Reed wins with the tsunami. You have to imagine he's going to be a strong North American title contender in 2021. If he's not facing Johnny sooner rather than later, I will be shocked, honestly. So just my 2 cents on that. Do you have anything else you want to say about this?
I'm actually learning a little something that I didn't realize before. Apparently there were 2 title matches. Apparently Escobar actually beat Scott twice. Once on an episode of NXT in August and once on TakeOver 31. So I guess there were two shots there for Scott. So I guess that my complaint there isn't really relevant. But at the same time, I don't know. Those two were a bit of a fight forever pair for, I think, both of us, just because of their history in Lucha Underground and everything.
Well, yeah, because I also did like the 6-man tags and stuff with like Breezango, you know, Hubert Swerve when he was a face and stuff like that. No, they had a lot of interactions. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying like you go from that to this, and it just it's
I think that's the most disappointing thing I'm really trying to figure out how to articulate my vibes here. I really think that the reason that I hated this match is because it felt like a crushing sort of end to hope. You know what it's like, you know, he loses to Escobar, he gets basically tossed from the Cruiserweight Championship contention conversation. And so now he's kind of trying to move his way up by turning heel and, you know, using more underhanded tactics and kind of that anything to win attitude. And he tries that here against Reed and it just fails miserably. And it's like, I feel like NXT went out of their way to be like, this dude's ceiling is right here and no higher, and fuck you if you think otherwise.
Yeah, I think on that note we can move on, huh?
I guess so. The thing is, though, up next was an announcement for a year-end award. So I wanted to ask you, did you want to sprinkle the discussion of the awards in throughout our review here, or did you just want to talk about all of them at once?
Here's the thing, dude. Oh, God. Because here's my thing, man. A lot of these awards were pointless, except for, like,
the last three? Yeah.
Yeah, or 2 or 3, because they play into deeper narratives. Like, Match of the Year, like, does play into a segment that was, you know, genuinely great.
Yeah. And then the last one played into a segment then that led into another segment. Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, because I was just going to say, we get the Breakout Star of the Year announcement. It's Shotzi. Congratulations to her.
I will say, as much as I love Shotzi, this shocked me. I really thought that this was going to go to Loomis or Grimes or even McAfee. I get that it's fan votes, but even then I would have expected Loomis to get it over Shotzi. I'm really excited for her. If she's connecting with fans to this degree already, that's really cool for her.
Bro, my NXT Women's Champion in 2021. I love Io to death, but like I'm really getting close to being ready for that Shotzi title reign. So here's to hoping. So good for her. She does mention her dad and the things that her dad taught her. And, you know, she's going to keep letting the good times roll. So good for Shotzi. Congratulations.
TCB.
Yeah, there you go. Taking care of business. So then we get both Leon Ruff talking with Jake Atlas. Nice of you to not further your feud with Swerve. And Leon Ruff arriving at NXT, and then we cut to the Way doing the same thing. They come in, and Johnny sees a black cat. And I know you were a fan of these segments that they did with Johnny tonight, so I want you to talk about this.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw all of them. I feel like I only actually saw like 2 of them, so if there were more than 2, I missed one. Or however many more than 2 there were, that's how many I missed. But this one was funny, just because the Way enters the building, and this is all while Breezango's music is playing in the background, so that actually adds like a little bit of a comedic factor to it. And they look at, down a hallway at what I'm assuming is their locker room, and they see that there's a black cat right there, just chilling in front of their locker room door. I gotta tell you, dude, as great as the Garganos have been doing this during this whole thing, you know who really stole the show tonight for me in these segments?
Who?
Indy Hartwell. Because her face in this segment was absolute gold. Her look of shock at this black cat chilling, and then she had a line later that I'm gonna talk about when we get to it that absolutely just slayed me. But yeah, I feel like she was the star of these segments tonight. They were hilarious, and I loved them. But then we do get into the match, Breezango, and then I see who their opponent is, and squee, because it's grizzled young vets. We're getting the match that I practically begged for like a week or 2 ago when it was GYV versus, I don't even remember what boring team it was. I think it was Imperium or something.
Soon to be recognized as NXT's #1 tag team. Oh, man. It hits so good. What else can I say, man? Grizzled young vets take care of business. I love both guys. Yeah, I said both guys. I know it used to be a gimmick of mine back in the day to really haze James Drake. But no, he's fucking cool. He's got a great look, too, on some real shit.
Dude, it is actually insane how much he looks like Miles Kennedy. Do you know who Miles Kennedy is?
Oh, God, isn't he the lead singer for Puddle of Mud or something?
Alter Bridge. Alter Bridge.
Oh, Alter Bridge.
Dude,
Okay.
it's actually nuts how similar they look. Like they could be like older brother and younger brother, or like twins, but one of them was like addicted to meth in their 20s or something. Like it's actually insane how similar they look to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, he's got a great look, and WWE ultimately. I guess some tag teams are cool with being tag teams, but they like to experiment if they see a single star there. And personally, I could see 2 single stars here because I still think Zach Gibson could be one hell of a heel. I feel like he could be. I want to put this delicately here. I feel like he could be like a Jinder Mahal level heel, but with like the actual in-ring ability. Like you could give him that Shocker World title reign that maybe goes for like 4 months, and then you could use him to build other guys. But I would still want him to be like kept at a certain level of credibility because he does have the in-ring ability to do it. And dude, Drake,
I kind of have a philosophy that anyone can be a heel world champion if you give them the right supporting cast. Yeah,
I can agree with that. And I feel like, goddamn, dude, with the heat that fucking Gibson gets, I can buy it. I don't see though. I would like to see how that would translate to an American crowd because it really seems like he gets the heat in the UK, right? But I'm wondering if here in the US, it would equate. It would be equivalent. But James Drake, I think he's got such a look. I honestly see babyface potential in a guy that looks like that. Because it's funny that you linked him to Miles Kennedy of Alter Bridge, because he kind of has, albeit in a much different way, he has like those Hangman Adam Page vibes to me. The flowing blonde locks and like everything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good shit, man. I mean, they were great. Breezango, man. I really don't give those guys enough credit because you're talking about long-standing guys in the company, and they genuinely worked me because I thought Fandango got hurt again in this, and I was about to be heartbroken because I'm like, oh my god, that would be like 3 injuries. I feel like in the same year. Now, granted, my sense of temporality is fucked in the midst of COVID, but like,
aren't we all though? Aren't we all?
Yeah, but I feel like Fandango really has suffered severe setbacks in NXT. So when he does kind of the crossbody off the beam, when he's climbing up the scaffolding and he does the crossbody and he goes to the knee, I'm like, oh, fuck. But it was so smart because he knows that that's immediately where we're going to go. And he works his own history into the narrative. And you see GYV, like they work over the knee the rest of the match. And see, this is why. Not everybody gets to be a champion. Not everybody needs to be a champion. I'm happy for Breezango that they did get their run because guys like this who understand their gimmicks so well and who are just so fundamentally sound in the ring, when you give them that reign, I think they're always going to be able to maintain that air of credibility because they've got great gimmicks and they know how to deliver, bell to bell, when it's match time. So GYV beating these guys, and I believe it was Gibson pinning Breeze after the assisted ticket to ride. It was great stuff for GYV. And again, we got the announcement. Dusty Classic returning in 2 weeks.
Yes.
I have to pick them as the favorites.
It's fitting that they were in the next segment after that announcement happened because they're winning.
Yeah, exactly. That same energy, Ashton. We're keeping it the whole fucking tournament. And if they don't win, well, then guess what? We weren't wrong. NXT was wrong.
Yeah.
Eat my whole ass.
We didn't mispredict. They misbooked.
Exactly. There's a difference.
Yeah. Check your messenger. I sent you a picture of Miles Kennedy.
I did see it. I got to open up fresh Facebook here. I will look at this and give kind of my live reactions. And let's see here.
Tell me that don't look like James Drake's dad or some shit.
Yeah, let's see. Pulling it up. Yeah. Oh my god. Holy shit. Yeah. Damn.
It's wild, right?
God damn. That really hits different. But yeah, GYV get the win. I thoroughly enjoyed this match. That's another nitpick I had. I still don't get Everrise, and they interrupted after this.
They are so annoying to me. Like, if they just stopped appearing on NXT. Now, granted, I have a human side. I have a humanitarian side. And
yes.
As a humanitarian, I'm happy that these guys have jobs and that they're getting to live their dreams if this is what they want. But as a fan, as, somebody consuming an entertainment product, they could disappear next week and I would not notice at all.
Yeah, dude, I think just so that I don't put my foot in my mouth, I'm just going to copy paste what you said because you are right. It is nice to see people get work, especially in the midst of a pandemic. And that's why, am I using the phrase like I don't get Everrise? That really is me being as nice as possible. It really is because I don't enjoy them at all. In
Yeah.
fact, I think their increased prominence, their visibility that's been heightened in the tag division is a negative on the whole for the division. I don't care for it. So really, I'm just hoping GYV murder them in the first round. I genuinely, because I do have one fear with the Dusty Classic, because, you know, it's not that they've had bad winners. I think I've enjoyed it, even some of the makeshift teams. I do worry, though, that NXT might get cute, and we might see Everrise just luck their way into the fucking finals. I don't think they'll win. I could see them lucking their way into the finals, and then hopefully GYV would fucking destroy them. But I don't like that they're getting featured like this. Please eliminate them in the first round. Please fucking God. And yeah, that's pretty much.
They might get like a jobber team to face in the first round and then get eliminated in the second round, maybe even by GYV. We'll see.
Yeah, we will. Just why Everrise?
Kind of funny that I say they'll get a jobber team to squash when they are one. They are the jobber team.
Yeah. Okay, so we go from that to Tag Team of the Year, Undisputed Era. God,
I don't know about that.
You know, dude, I'm actually glad you had that reaction. I'm guessing we react that way for different reasons, so I'm not saying we agree. I'm just glad that you have a reaction like that, because I like Undisputed Era. I do. I just don't think I like them on NXT anymore. I really am ready for them to just do the next thing. Really, the best person in Undisputed Era in NXT right now is Kyle.
Yeah.
It is Kyle, like, undoubtedly. Adam, I just have to look at him and be like, you're so handsome. And I know that has nothing to do with anything. I can't help myself. But beyond that, what are you doing here? Like,
bro, high key, I don't know if they were even nominated, but Grizzled Young Vets should have won this because they were in the finals of the Dusty Classic, lost it to the Broserweights, but then the Broserweights had a less than 3-month run, and fucking Riddle abandoned, or Dunn actually didn't abandon, but Dunn got stuck in the UK when COVID hit, and we got Riddle and Thatcher for like 2 matches before they lost the titles and Thatcher turned on Riddle. Then it was Imperium, and they were like the most boring tag team champions in NXT history. They held the titles for just barely over 3 months, and then dropped into Breezango, who were entertaining while they had them, but they had them for less than 2 months. And it's been Birch and Lorcan for the last 2.5 months, and they're boring as shit. Meanwhile, GYV spent the first couple months of the year killing it, made it to the Dusty Finals, put on an arguable match of the year candidate, which apparently NXT refuses to acknowledge. And now they've spent the last couple months absolutely killing it, putting on great promos and having as good a matches as they can with the little competition they have. Like, low-key, in my opinion, if we're strictly talking about NXT, Grizzled Young Vets are a genuine contender for Tag Team of the Year just because of how weak the tag division's been this year.
Yeah.
Undisputed Era held the tag team titles for a grand total of 47 days this year, and they won Tag Team of the Year.
Yeah, and see, again, I agree with everything you're saying. For me, the critique is more like, I've kind of had enough. Like, I really am ready for them to do something else. Again, the only person I'm still invested in NXT is Kyle. But I'll tell you something, bro. If hypothetically, because, you know, we're not going to predict the show or anything, but I'm just putting it out there, like, if hypothetically Finn would beat Kyle again, which I am fully expecting, because I think Endgame is Cross Bauer, even then, like, okay, he's used it up. Because I don't want to see Undisputed Era break up either, because then somebody might chime in, well, what about Future Shock as a tag team, or what about, because I know Adam Cole and fucking Roderick Strong are going to be in the Dusty Classic. So maybe
I got so angry at that announcement. I was like, what? No. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like them, and they're a good tag team, but no, I wanted Future Shock.
I wanted Future Shock, too.
And it times out well, because it starts in 2 weeks, and Kyle gets his shot next week. So who cares if you have a world champion in the Dusty Classic? Finn was in the first Dusty Classic when he was champion. That's okay.
Yeah. God, they really fumbled the ball here, fam. They really fumbled the ball here.
I didn't even think about it until, well, I thought about it, but I didn't think about bringing it up until you did.
I'm sorry. I feel like I did something to you. I apologize.
No, you don't have to apologize. I don't feel violated or anything. It's like, it's one of those passing thoughts. Like, as NXT's on, I'm just thinking like, oh, that's disappointing. I wish it would have been Adam and Kyle instead of Adam and Roderick. And then you bring it up, and it just reminds me, like, wow, yeah, they really fucked up here, didn't they?
Yeah, when you think about it, it really is all NXT's fault. I didn't even do anything wrong.
No, exactly. See, you do get it.
So, but no, man, I'm right there with you 100%. And again, like, because I see Drew as WWE champion, and I think about how Adam Cole debuted, in the NXT universe, attacking Drew, and I'm like, recreate that. I want them to recreate that the Raw after every Mania, and it never fucking happens, and it's not going to happen in 2021 either.
No, yeah. Dude, I'm 100% with you, though. I mean, it might have even been 2 years ago at this point that I was absolutely convinced that Undisputed Era were debuting on Raw. And maybe even by 2 years ago, what I really mean is 2 post-WrestleMania Raws ago. So like 2019 post-Mania Raw. I was absolutely convinced that Undisputed Era were debuting on the Raw, and I put out like a stupid-ass cryptic tweet where I had random, unnecessarily capitalized letters spread throughout that spelled out Undisputed Era. And I thought I was so clever. I thought that I was putting out vibes. Like I was going to be able to say, hey guys, check out this tweet. I knew it was coming. And then it never fucking happened. And that ended up being like the most disappointing post-Mania Raw ever. And then this year's wasn't better. And it's like they just gave up on the concept of having entertaining post-WrestleMania Raws right around the time that they could have chosen to do it in a way that you could have basically recreated their debut in NXT on Raw. I was like, I get so angry thinking about it. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. See, you still feel the anger, and I guess I do too, but it's really just fatigue. I'm like,
I was going to say, yeah, it's given way to acceptance on your part, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, can you honestly blame me, dude, when it's going on this long?
That's how I am with WWE's booking 99% of the time.
Ajin's like, it's about time you felt this way about something. God, I'm like, yeah, I can't give anything else.
John with his eternal fountain of optimism.
It'll be better this time, guys. It'll be better this time, guys. So after this, we get the final Xia Li and Boa vignette.
Well, I don't know if it's the final one. We might get one before they debut next week, but
I mean, we may. That's fair. I guess more just final in the sense of it seems like the development's been completed.
Yeah.
Because they got marked by whoever was observing them. And dude, I don't know if you got worked by this too. I was waiting for like that veil or that hood, whatever you want to call it, of the leader. I was waiting for her to pull that back and turn around. Yep. And I'm like, do it. And then she just walked into the light and I'm like, you coy bitch. So yeah, they've got me hooked for next week. I'd say I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, and then, dude, I went through a whole ass journey tonight because at the end of this vignette, they showed 2 kanji, which I'm familiar with, learning Japanese, that made fucking no sense in Japanese. So I was like trying to translate, and what the hell are they trying to do here? Because it was like the kanji for below, and then the kanji for like circumference or lap or, like vicinity. And I'm like, how does this fucking work? And then I realized, oh wait, this is Chinese, not Japanese. And I did a quick translate, and it literally just meant next week.
Oh, Ashton.
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Yeah. It's well, I mean, they are both Chinese superstars. I probably should have just thought with my brain at first.
Yeah, it's okay, bud. We kind of had to talk about this last week, so I don't want to belabor the point too much. I really hope that the live presentation matches the energy of these vignettes. I don't even need them to be immaculate.
Dude, as long as that live presentation matches the energy that we got when that old dude first showed up to mark them, when we got like the fucking dragon flying around on the CGI screens, I was like, hell, if we get that again every time these 3 show up, I'm like, yes, I'm all in for sure.
Because I'm really just going to be truthful with y'all. I really feel like this is going to be a gimmick done in such a way that accentuates the positives and hides the negatives. And you could say that every gimmick essentially boils down to that. And I'm okay with that. Again, I don't need them to be immaculate workhorses in the ring. Honestly, if they're more character driven, I might even prefer that, especially for Xia. I really can't say much about Boa yet. But I'm really excited for this NXT. I'm really excited for this. I really have gotten invested. You guys have heard me consistently on the podcast. I feel like my voice goes up just a bit, when we talk about these. So next week it comes to a head. We'll see. But oh my God. I want to talk about this real quick because we got Mercedes Martinez versus Valentina Feroz, and holy shit. Because You know what's funny, dude? And here's really what I want to talk about, because I just fucking loved this line. Because we always talk about how Mercedes can't talk for shit. And I say that from a very, not just social distance.
I think we're learning, though,
distance.
that it's more that she just can't cut promos for shit, because her trash talk is still on point.
Dude, her trash talk is so on point that her trash talk made it into my notes. Every woman in this place, you're on my radar. Click, click. And then I think the gun click, click coincided with that on the theme.
On the theme song. I heard it. It's so cool.
Dude, your voice just now, that was me inside. I'm like, oh my God, she said that, and then I did that, and oh my God. So, mood, essentially, friend, mood. Yeah, I won't even say that she killed her. I was actually surprised that Valentina, tried the counters that she did. You know, she slipped out of one move, tried for a roll-up, this and that. But when Martina said it was done, it was done. Gotta be honest, the air raid crash is a nice, safe move for her. And again, I think you can get it over if you just always signal that that's the finish. I think me with her using the air raid crash is probably a lot like how I felt about AJ using the phenomenal forearm as his finisher rather than the Styles Clash for most of his WWE matches. But you know what, though? Given enough time, you grow with it. I know she was even using it before she left NXT. I
was even gonna say, dude, I don't know if the air raid crash is her finisher. It might just be her secondary finisher that she uses on lower level opponents. Because I know she has used a Fisherman Buster against Shayna and Mia.
Yes, and I fucking love that Fisherman Buster, and I'd love to see her try and do it to EO when they get their inevitable matchup.
Oh,
which God
can't happen soon enough.
You know, and that's, I gotta say, if I did have a nitpick overall, it really is just more me in Fantasyland, because I am thinking of missed opportunities. Because look, I've really grown to love EO. I know who the hell I'm talking to, so that doesn't need to be said. But I almost wonder if they missed an opportunity here to further that feud too, because EO got 2 awards that were really big deals in the NXT universe. She got Female Competitor of the Year and Overall Competitor of the Year, which, by the way, quick note, I don't know if you saw my tweet about this, Ashton. EO pulled a Kyrie, because Kyrie did the same thing in 2019.
Yep. I know, dude. I was hoping EO would do it last year, and then she didn't. I was so disappointed, but she stuck around long enough to pull it off this year. Yeah!
Exactly. But how fucking great would it have been? But see, again, we can't really trust her to, cut long-winded promos or anything. If, Mercedes would have claimed them on EO's behalf, because EO was still recovering from Mercedes' attack. I don't know. I would have loved that personally. Because, EO, we know when she comes back, she's going to be a fucking house of fire, kayfabe Wiseners and the injuries. But Mercedes, just to really rub it in, oh yeah, they call you Female Competitor of the Year, and I handled you like that. I just wanted that final push. But Mercedes looked great here, dude, and I cannot wait for the title match. Do you have anything you want to say about this?
You mentioned EO's hurt? Well, I didn't know about that.
Well, no, I'm just saying, in kayfabe, because,
because of the attack last week. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so then, if Mercedes would have claimed EO's awards on her behalf, the
that would have been funny.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I feel like
I'm glad we got EO to talk promo-wise, though.
She's precious. Protect her at all costs. But yeah, so, I can't deny that feeling. I guess just the guy that loves the creative process of wrestling is oh, man, push those buttons, y'all.
You don't ever want to see somebody who's in a feud, a really brutal feud with somebody else, without having it be directly related to that feud, right?
Exactly.
It was nice to see Mercedes tonight, and her trash talk was nice, but you wish that she would have done more to directly further her story with EO.
Yes, because, dude, after that attack, how can you not, right?
Right.
And it's again, it was so good, and that's why I'm classifying these as nitpicks. I think it would be very extra on my part to be fuck NXT, because they didn't do all these things that they didn't even promise, fuck you. But, no, it's I see it all laid up, and you don't take the swing, and it's not that it's bad that you didn't. I just wish that you did, and there is a difference. So, great stuff for Mercedes, and very happy for EO. I just wanted that to be furthered, because let me tell you something. I care so much more about that match than Raquel seemingly inevitably getting a shot at EO. Night and fucking day.
Wouldn't that be funny if Rhea just beat Raquel next week and it just ended any shot that Raquel had at winning the title?
Dude. We'll actually get to that later, because they actually did. Oh, no, we're still a little ways away from that. I was looking at the wrong thing.
That would have been a legendary segue if I would have nailed that.
You're still so immensely talented, though. So yeah, Mercedes fucking crushes Valentina. Then again, I did kind of tie this up. We got Io Shirai's Female Competitor of the Year. Again, she's fucking precious. Protect Io at all costs. Adam Cole, Male Competitor of the Year he brags about second year in a row, and to me, I hear that, and I'm like, wow, just feed my narrative, Adam, that you've been in NXT way too fucking long. I'm actually curious on some real shit. Has he had the longest NXT tenure in history? Because I feel like Balor would be his only competition, like in his first run.
I doubt it, just because there are people that are probably still there now that were there on like the first year or so.
Yeah, I guess, maybe when I say like longest tenure,
one of the top, probably.
Yeah.
If we're talking one at the top, it definitely comes down to him and Finn.
Yeah, because like, goddamn.
Yeah. Because I think he and the boys attacked Drew in 2016, 17, maybe.
Might have been 17. Yeah. Let me YouTube that real quick.
Was it TakeOver Brooklyn 3? Yeah, so 2017. It was 17.
Yeah, holy shit, bro. God damn.
So it's been 3 years that they've been there.
That's wild.
You think?
I really didn't expect them to be there that long when you consider the talent involved. But again, we already kind of had that discussion. I don't want to belabor the point.
Because I want to say Balor debuted in like November, December 2013, I think.
Okay, let's see that now, just since we're kind of making these comparisons.
And got called up in the 2016 draft, which was, I believe, in July.
Yeah, he debuted November 6, 2014.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Jesus. So he was actually only in NXT for like, what does that add up to? Like 22 months, 20 months, 21 months, something like that?
Yeah, so Adam Cole blew him out of the water then. I was
absolutely,
right.
Yeah. 100%.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow. Well, I feel somewhat vindicated.
You're a vindicated boy.
So after this, yeah, Paul is right. Bayley was in NXT for a while. You know what, though? And I don't mean to be a dick. I would say the difference about that, though, is, like, I didn't know Bayley pre-NXT, where I feel like Adam Cole came in with the name value.
Yes, that is very true. Oh, yeah, so did Balor, though.
Yeah, beg pardon?
I just said so did Balor, but I get your point.
So did Balor, but again, we just established that, like,
right. Oh, yeah, Chiefin with a good point, too. Gargano and Ciampa have been around forever.
That's true. Yeah, it
really is, like, the current class of main event talent have just been in NXT for fucking ever. And
maybe they just want to be.
I know exactly why. It's because right around the time that they should have been called up was around the time that the USA Network happened. That's when NXT went to the USA Network, and Vince was just like, oh, no, we got to keep as many big stars, big names down there as we can. We can't have them coming up to, that kind of thing. So they kind of keep the guys that they know are just never going to make it on the main roster, the smaller guys, really, down in NXT. And it's like they have very little room for movement.
Yeah. If they want to help grow the brand now that it's on TV and it is a third brand, I mean, that's their prerogative. I think you run the risk, especially when you have the name value of a Cole, and I would say more so than, yeah.
You know what really would have helped to keep NXT fresh is if they would have been part of the draft this year. Yeah,
dude. Because, like, that's the thing, too. Either do a draft or, like, here's my thing. I feel like they didn't, how can I put this? I feel like, Pat McAfee challenged him a little bit, but, like, his faction didn't even get any wins. I don't feel like Undisputed Era is threatened in their spot, which makes it hard for me to, like, get into them as baby faces. Because they're not threatened. Like, who's coming for these guys? There is no rotation even internally on the roster of like, okay, you guys did this. Now, you go and do this. Instead, there's a rotation within the Undisputed Era. Okay, Adam, you got your main event rub. Now we're going to go with Kyle a little bit. Hell, at this rate, dude, I expect Roderick Strong to recontend for the NXT title in 2021. Jesus Christ. It's a lot. It's a lot. I think if anybody would understand where I'm coming from, it's Foster, because I know for a damn fact Foster has expressed, like, why does Undisputed Era have to do everything? And I'm finally kind of getting to that place a little bit. Sans Kyle, because I am still enjoying his stuff. But, like, let's pump the brakes a bit. And we're not doing that anytime soon, though, because our next matchup was Roderick Strong versus Pete Dunne.
It was a good match. It was a little longer than I would have liked it to be, but it was a good match.
I'm pretty much right there with you, man. Good match. Nothing really like offensive or anything. Went on a tad long. I did like the finish, though.
I was just going to praise the finish.
Yeah. Finger break by Pete Dunne. Goes right into, doesn't miss a beat. It's almost like he pounds on him.
I think that's really smart. You hit that finger break, and that stuns them perfectly so that you can get the bitter end. Yeah, I really like that transition.
I did as well, man. I did as well. I thought that was really well done. So, yeah, Pete Dunne gets the freaking win. I like that they're building Pete up. I've really liked him and his work as a heel. And I say that because, we cut to match of the year. It's Finn versus O'Reilly, TakeOver 31. We had a great discussion about that in our opening segment of the podcast. Finn takes Kyle's award, and he says he doesn't need his half. He wants to present it to Kyle. And he goes, Pete Dunne meets him near the stage, and he says he hopes Finn was watching, and then essentially he wants the title. Finn tells him everyone wants a shot at the champ and to get in line. So I definitely think they're teasing Finn versus Dunne, which I'll be honest, again, Dunne is a heel. I can get hyped for that match. I really can. I think,
Dunne had one of the best records in all of WWE in 2020. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, give it to me.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. There we go. Should be that, right? That's alphabetical order. Let me click on wins. Pete Dunne, 23 wins in 2020. Good for an 88.5 win percentage because he only lost 3 matches all year. He's got the 23rd most wins. Actually, he's tied for the 20th with, 4 other people. Win percentage-wise, there's a whole stack of people that didn't lose a single match this year. The person out of that group with the most matches without a loss is Becky Lynch at 17. Then Mansoor at 14. Then Aoife Valkyrie at 9. Nobody else above 8, who just carrying cross. Then we've got Riddick Moss at 11-1. Roman Reigns at 29-2. And Pete Dunne at 23-3. Then Walter at 7-1, just to give you an idea of how dominant Dunne was this year.
That's wild. I think Paul actually makes a great point. Pete Dunne really is one of the most protected guys in the company. It's amazing the future he's secured for himself. And isn't he only 25 or 26 at least? I feel like he's still not even done his 20s yet. He's got to be in his 27. Okay, I said done his 20s, pun intended there, I guess. But yeah, 27. Yeah, thank you. And he's still doing this well for himself. I mean, good for Peter Dunne. So, what did you think of this next segment, this Finn Balor, Kyle O'Reilly kind of promo?
I love the intensity of this. I also, as strongly as I disagreed with O'Reilly Balor being named match of the year, I actually really like the way that they transitioned that immediately into this because it really helped to kind of shine the light on the intensity of this feud. I love the intensity of this promo. Oh, especially O'Reilly. Balor always brings it with the intensity, especially right now when he's kind of that tweener, kind of a badass heel, but also lovable face type. It's hard to explain Balor right now, but he's kind of in that perfect zone, almost like late 2016 Ambrose, where he's the champion and he knows he's the man, so he's kind of heelish, but he's also a good guy and he doesn't cheat and stuff like that. That's kind of where Finn is right now, and I love that. And O'Reilly is bringing that fucking late stage Ring of Honor Kyle O'Reilly babyface fire, and I love it.
Yes, dude. The promo from Kyle gave me such vibes from his promo backstage after Adam Cole screwed him out of the ROH
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kyle, because, I always admired Daniel Bryan for, his babyface fire in some promos when you knew you just pushed him just a little too far. I'm not saying Kyle's on the same level. I think he's got his own brand of babyface fire that I really like. Because he even says, I don't want the award. I want the real thing. And he talks about the 15 years that he's been in the business. Oh, that was his line. He says, I've been participating for 15 years because he called the Match of the Year award a participation award.
Yep.
So I've been participating 15 years.
Funny thing is, that's not even a lie. He debuted in 2005. How crazy is that?
Dude, that's fucking what? That dude doesn't age. Because,
I mean, he's not that young. Like, he's not under 30. He's 33 years old, which means that he literally just debuted at 18, which is like prime.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's I really think 18 is like the optimal time to start learning to wrestle if you know with certainty that that's what you want to do. Because any younger than that, and you got me questioning you like stardom wise, like child labor laws, and any older than that, and it's like, you could have started earlier.
Yeah, Stardom, especially now that they've got the Bushi Road partnership and they're slowly worming their way. Stardom's practices from womb to Wrestle Kingdom, baby. Let's do this.
See, but I will just say, just for the sake of being thorough here, Stardom is no longer accepting new trainees under the age of 15.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I was starting to worry about you.
No, that doesn't mean that they aren't still training girls that are under 15. It's just that the ones that they are training that are under 15 started training before they stopped accepting new trainees that are under 15.
Dude, and you watch, and I only say this because oddly enough to bring it back to NXT, it makes me think of a segment when Becky was still a part of NXT that she did, I think, before competing with Sasha Takeover, how she lied to Finn, also bringing it back because he was in this segment at his wrestling school about how old she was. The next person that we really are like, oh my God, they're so good, their interview is going to be like, oh yeah, I lied to the Stardom, fucking dojo about my age. I said I was 15, but I was actually 13 when I trained in that. It's like, God damn it. Get a better vetting system.
Yeah, and it's also not like there aren't any under 15-year-old wrestlers currently like actively wrestling for the company, because let's not forget Hina and Rena are both 14.
Yes, exactly. So just to kind of give my share of thoughts here, I already mentioned that I do agree with you. I love Kyle's Babyface Fire. I do also, for the record, agree with your assessment of Finn, but to me personally, he came off actually a bit more heelish here than I was expecting. I think he's really taken that.
That's what's so great about him, though, dude, is that he is the champion, and it's always better for a champion to really play into getting the audience to want to see him lose the title. So him really kind of healing it up right here and playing that like dickhead, like arrogant, like I know I'm better than you kind of role is exactly what he needs to be doing as the champion right now. It's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, dude, and he plays the part so well, and he looks the part fucking fantastically, because him in that leather jacket with the title over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Real rock and roller forever. And, he pretty much gave the douchey version, as if it wasn't already douchey enough, the original, of John Cena's, like, fine speech, because he more or less tells Kyle, that's real nice, Kyle. That's real nice. But I'm going to make you suffer.
Yeah.
I'm going to drag you around this ring, and I'm going to make you suffer. And they're just talking about...
I thought he would do, like, the laundry list of things that he's going to break, because he said, you broke my jaw, and now I'm going to... And I thought he was going to say, I'm going to break your ribs, I'm going to break your wrists, I'm going to break your ankles, I'm going to... Like, he's just going to run, and then I'm going to... Then to finish you off, I'm going to break your neck. I really thought he would do something like that, but no, he just said, I'm going to drag you around this ring. Like, yeah, he got into how he's going to torture Kyle, but he didn't actually go for the breaking laundry list like I expected him to.
See, and what I expected him to say, I expected him to punctuate it, the classic line, you broke my jaw, next week I'm going to break your spirit. I kept waiting for him to say,
that would be cool too.
Spirit.
That would be cool too. Yeah, that would have worked. But no, he went for the wordier, less direct, less cliche option. And I appreciate the creativity. Good job, Finn.
Nothing was broken here in the promo, but we did get a broken environment for the second half of this segment.
Yes! This was so good, dude.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, because like Cross and Scarlett interrupt, and I honestly want to give the floor to you if you're this excited. Talk about it, brother.
I literally just Priest, like, okay, so Scarlett interrupts and she's like speaking in tongues or some shit. And then she says something about how it doesn't really matter what happens next week because both of your fates are sealed. Both of your fates are sealed. And she says that Karrion Kross is going to, he's coming for the NXT Championship. And then Kross gets on the mic and he just says, Doomsday is coming, TikTok. And then the camera pans out just the littlest bit. And you see Priest just standing behind Kross. And it's great. It's almost like those fucking Keith Lee gifs where Balor was like backed into the corner getting ready to do a dropkick. And Keith Lee rose up from below. It's like, oh shit. Yeah, this was a great fight. Because, Priest, kind of gets in Kross's face. They face each other.
Priest says, "This is how you step to a man," or "This is how you step like a man," or something like that. Throws a punch. They get into a great brawl. They go through the barricade. They tear down a curtain. And then at one point, Cross does a Doomsday Saito through a table, which it actually looked to me like Priest reversed it into like a crossbody, but they were both down and it looked like Cross was more responsive. So I just assumed that the bump went weird and that Cross was really meant to be the one doing the offense there. But yeah, it was a great fight segment, and I just loved the moment where we pan out just the tiniest bit and there's Priest hovering behind Cross. That was so good.
Yeah, this was shot really well. This was executed really well. I mean, again, I have to say, Raquel and Rhea take notes. This is how, like, these guys don't have nearly the history, which I'll be able to segue with that because we did get their video package next, Raquel and Rhea. They don't have nearly the history that Raquel and Rhea do. And it already feels so personal with everything they did here. And it was shot fantastically. Scarlett just sitting atop, like, away from all the destruction, kind of laughing. I'm like, that's kind of weird because your guy was a part of that too, but I guess you just trust that he's going to be okay. So you do you.
Yeah,
and,
this fight was like fucking Damian Priest is a Bernie Sanders supporter and he found Karrion Kross's liked tweets or something.
Yeah, I know, right? So, yeah, they lay each other out. Scarlett has a good laugh. And just a great segment. It actually got me hyped for their matchup next week at New Year's Evil. Yeah. After this, all I want to say about this video package, and I really do mean this as a compliment, whoever edited this, whoever did the music, give them a raise. Because this video package is the closest I've come to giving a shit about these two interacting with each other. Like on some real shit, what they have done.
Doesn't this remind you of Ciampa Gargano though back in the day?
It does, man. And that's
they're trying so hard to make this match epic, and it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, because like here's the thing, our big complaint is always like, oh, they promote stuff on social media instead of TV. They use social media on TV. Because, like, a lot of the stuff of Raquel and Rhea together, I remember that would be, like, on YouTube. I'm sure some stuff was, like, Instagram. And they're like, oh, we can just kind of use this in the video package in, like, the big promo. Yeah, good. We're all learning. I'm so proud of everyone. And, yeah, they told a personal story like, oh, Raquel, she was my best friend. I don't let anyone in. I let Raquel in. We even got R&R tattoos, and she showed her little finger tat with R&R. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. See, and I almost have to nitpick this because, again, whoever edited this and put this together, I am not mad at you. You are beautiful. And you deserve so much better than this. And you tried. And I thank you. But, like, to me as a viewer, I can't speak for you, Ashley, but to me, they're working with two different tones here. Yeah. Because you weren't always working on this tone. And don't act like you were. Because the tone they were working on is, irresistible object versus immovable force kind of thing. Like, Raquel wants to be the contender. Rhea is a former NXT Women's Champion, and she wants another taste of the gold. Who's going to budge who? It's like a game of chicken between two hosses, in Rhea and Raquel.
This also kind of had like a weird slow boil where at one point it almost felt like they were kind of flirting. Like, oh, I know you and I have some history, but I'm bigger and stronger than you. And the other one was kind of giving off the vibe of like, no, I'm bigger and stronger than you. And that was kind of all it felt like for a while. And then eventually Raquel started actively screwing Rhea out of winning things. So now it feels like that's kind of the amount of personal that it's gotten to. And now we get this dumped in our laps. And it's like, wow. So y'all really wanted to turn the storytelling up to 100 here.
Yeah, and that's my only problem. Because, again, it was done so well. Yeah. But what a sharp fucking pivot. Because, like, it goes
By the way, I hate to even interrupt for this complete tangent, but I just want to say those two getting R&R tattoos really shows how young and dumb they are. Because their real names are Victoria and Demi. What the fuck?
They're removable tattoos. I'm convinced.
I really hope you're right, man. I really hope you're right.
They got those just to film the footage, and then they went in the bathroom and they washed them off.
You keep telling yourself that. If you have to believe that, I hope you're right.
Yeah. But yeah, like it goes from "you're not tougher than me" to "she hurt me" and that bitch is going down. And it's like, whoa. First of all, what? Second of all, why? Third of all, what?
God damn it.
Expect me?
The second one got me.
How? Like, I don't. And I've heard this line quite a bit lately because your old pal John watches way too many sitcoms than he probably should. I don't know what you expect me to do with that. I don't know what you expect me to do with, like, well, I know I was being all tough with Raquel, but actually, we were a sisterhood for a long time, and she took the knife and she twisted it in my heart. And that bitch is gonna know what's happening. It's like, whoa.
Dude, it's like that fucking random guy that walks up to you while you're working and starts oversharing about his life story. It's like, listen, I appreciate that you need someone to talk to, but I am working right now. Can you please go away?
Yeah, it's pretty much like when we watch a Stardom matchup and we don't expect it to get that physical, and it does, except, not nearly as good as that, because it's like, you're really doing this Legend as ever, because we know they're doing Last Woman Standing next week on New Year's Evil, and I even said, when you have a gimmicked match that you can use the whole environment and this and that, I think those two women can do something passable. Honey, and I'm saying honey to NXT, just generally, not any of these two.
Writers.
Honey, temper it, because you are running a fever of 105 of your expectations. Like, we're gonna get match of the year 2021 with these two fucking women. Lower it, okay? You're at like a 12. I'm asking you very nicely and very maturely. Yeah, like, I need you down to a 4. Which is where you probably should be with what you've been given.
Which is what this match is going to be rated out of 10.
Yeah, and then I love how Raquel. Because again, I did like this. I know it seems like you said you like this. Why is this happening? I did like this, but we have to call it for what it is.
Dude, it feels like an alternate universe. That's what it is. It feels like some other universe that has actually been building to this for like a month or two now properly and telling this personal story, wanted us to get like a recap of everything that they've told us so far, all in one video package, and it was beautifully done, and it was super well edited, like you said. But then we realized, like, wait a minute, this doesn't match our universe. This doesn't make any sense.
And like, I'm sorry, again, but like Raquel. Raquel comes on here, she's like, maybe I was working you from the very beginning. And I'm like,
dude, that was so bad. I literally have in my notes here. Where is it? Here we go. Raquel says, maybe this has been the goal the whole time. And then I literally typed in my notes, LOL, as fucking if.
Yeah, dude. With every right to say that, because let me tell you something, man, it makes no fucking sense. I'm like, wait a minute, this is your goal the whole time, so that you could end up being the heavy for another competitor, which, like, again, if you want to say,
dude, it's true when even Foster's piling on. He's like, I must have missed about 6 weeks worth of this feud.
Thank you, Foster. Oh my God, you beautiful human being. Oh my God, because I'm watching this and I'm like, where was this? Because you would have thought, dude, if you would have plopped me in the middle of this, and I always like to say this with things that either I really like, or in this case, in things that I'm just really straight up fucking confused about. If you would have been like, just plop me in the middle of this feud, and I would have watched that, I would have been like, oh my God, this is the most heartbreaking shit. Were they like former tag team champions? Like, how far did they go? Was this like Sasha Bailey shit?
Yeah, dude, and that's the hilarious thing too, is that they never even tagged on NXT TV. They were a house show team.
Where are you getting all these teeth, NXT? Because I can guarantee you your bite ain't that strong. Like, cool it. I
feel like this video package was really, really well done, but it was also directed at a very specific audience, and that audience is the Florida house show circuit.
Yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, from an editing and production standpoint, because I know I don't know if Full Sail University students are still doing this or what. Like, I don't know what the rules are anymore with the pandemic, and plus with them being USA Network, I just
my eyes are watering from laughing so hard.
I'm glad we actually had an extended discussion.
I haven't laughed this hard since that fucking husky howl.
Yeah. Oh God.
And admittedly, I laughed a lot harder at that, but I was also like up until 9 o'clock in the morning and delirious. So that's that. Circumstances.
But yeah, this match is happening, and apparently this time it's personal. And then the guy puts the gun behind my head. Always has been.
Oh my god, you combined memes.
My whole existence is a meme. So we go from that to the LDF promo. I already kind of talked about this at the top segment, so we can breeze right along just to make up for lost time, because we did spend a lot of time on that video package. Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado versus Mendoza and Wild. I had fun with this man, and again, Metalik shined. I definitely think he's the star of the team. I got nothing against Lince, but, you know, Metalik is just on another level. And again, the best thing coming out of all this is that he will be challenging Escobar for the title next week. He does get the winning pin. Escobar looks pissed. He just kind of walks back, though. Dude, I love that even when he's pissed, he just kind of reminds himself, wait a minute, I'm the champion.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you know.
Dude, I actually noticed something because, like I said, I was in the bathroom during the promo. Santos's voice is actually kind of similar to Ricochet's. It actually kind of reminded me of Ricochet's. And that just shows me that Ricochet's sort of high-pitched voice, it sounds like he hasn't fully gone through puberty yet, is not the thing that's holding him back on the mic, because Santos's promos are pretty generally fire, but he's got the confidence, he's got the charisma, and I never realized that Ricochet was lacking that before I heard this promo, but now I realize that Ricochet is severely lacking in confidence and charisma on the mic. It's not a voice problem, it's a confidence problem, it's a charisma problem.
Daddy Ali can fix that. You know,
I hope so. I hope you're right. I doubt you're right, but I hope you're right.
You know what? I don't blame you for that, actually.
Because here's the thing. I genuinely believe that Ali has that charisma and that confidence on the mic. We've seen it plenty of times. And I even genuinely believe that he's a really good teacher. I just don't know if Ricochet is the type of student that will be able to learn from him.
Yeah. We'll have to see, man. But so after that tag match, again, Dorado gets the win. We get future star of the year, Austin Theory.
This was the worst award of the night. Don't get me wrong. O'Reilly and Balor winning match of the year was really bad. This is so much worse because it's not even believable. There's no way that the fan vote would have given it to this dude.
And I'm actually surprised that I'm going to say this, and I do note as well the kind of baked-in hypocrisy of me saying this. Does NXT UK even exist? Because, we are honest that we don't watch the show, right?
Yeah.
And we have that right, because it is our podcast.
We know it exists because there were nominations from that promotion.
Yeah, exactly. But, NXT had nominations from them, and they didn't give them shit.
No.
Even things that I thought that they might have actually deserved. And again, we're a completely different entity from the fucking company itself. And the fucking company itself, I feel like, listen, NXT UK, you can get maybe 1 or 2 noms as a treat, but no awards, though, because we do that here.
You know what, though, dude? To be fair, there was also, a solid, 4 or 5 month period that NXT UK just didn't run.
That is true.
So that probably has a lot to do with it.
Cue the looking up at the sky, shaking your fist, COVID! And yeah, it's just fucking awful. So yeah, Austin Theory wins, and people, Ashton told me recently, it actually meant a lot to me that he could really see the growth that I've had this year. I've had a rough couple days, dealing with doctor stuff, and I'm actually thinking about getting back to therapy for the new year, sincerely. But man, I'm still a real piece of shit, because I'm looking at Austin Theory, and I'm because the way to act like they're a family, and I'm this is why I'm never having children, because if this is a family, Austin Theory, and I'm this is probably the most visceral thing I've said in a long time. You are undoubtedly the disappointment of the family. I'm sorry. I've been so good for so long. I am so sorry. But I look at him, and I'm just nobody talks about you. And when they talk about you, they only talk about you to say how much better your sibling is than you. That's why indie became indie wrestling, and you got fucking protein powder, bro. Read the fucking room.
God,
you're the problem.
Isn't that hilarious? That's like the fucking grandparents of somebody who literally their job is to buy and sell Pokemon cards, buying them a couple booster packs for Christmas. It's like, do you not realize that I have enough of this? Like, this is my job. This is what I do. You're not going to do better than I'm going to do for myself. Why wouldn't you just give me money so I could invest it into what I know is going to work? And that's basically, yeah, like Gargano, they just like, we don't give a shit about you, Austin Theory. We don't know enough about you to buy you anything. So here's something that we already know you like, even though you probably have way too much of it already.
Yeah, like, dude, I've seen.
Meanwhile,
like,
Indy got such a special present that it couldn't even be wrapped in a box. Like, that's some serious customizable shit, right?
Yeah, and dude, you know what? I know I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit here, but I actually do say all of this. God damn it, Foster! I love you so fucking much. I do say all of this with a point. Because, okay, well, just to wrap up this segment, and then I can kind of bounce back to the point I want to make. Theory accepts it, the way he's celebrating, because, we've done so great.
This
and then
is
Austin,
so good, though, because they're like, oh, you got to share with Indy, and he gives it to her, and she dings the bell, and she's like, oh, it's actually real, it actually works. That's so good.
See, this is why she's surprised.
The way that you said it's actually real absolutely killed me.
This is why Indy's the pride of the family.
Yeah, she's the golden child.
Because, Austin's like, and Johnny, you're gonna break the curse. That's like openly admitting that you, know that your father drinks or something when he's reading the business section of the newspaper. You don't talk about this shit, Austin. You keep your fucking mouth shut, and you just look. Any opinions you have, your family will tell it to you. You understand? Fucking tool ass. And then Johnny's like, you don't say the C word. Yeah, exactly. And he takes the fucking whey protein and he throws it and he
breaks a mirror.
And he's freaking out. It's like, no. And then he's just like freaking out. And then he walks under the ladder. And then Austin again was going to be like, don't go to the. And then Candace, the maternal figure, had to cover Austin's mouth and be like, no, don't. Because. Look, let's be real, all right? I've already gone this far. I've already used up any good rope.
Before you finish what you're about to say, though, I just want to toss in there, Candace is really smart to do this because everyone knows that curses work in binaries. It's either on or it's off. The cat turned it on. The saying the word curse turned it off. The breaking of the mirror turned it back on, and then walking the ladder turned it off. So if they wouldn't have had him walk under the ladder, the curse would have stayed on.
Damn. The fucking ridges you're working with that brain right now. Sexy as hell. So...
My brain looks like a raisin fucked another raisin.
What even is this show? Yeah, so we all know that if this actually happened in the family unit that I've described thus far, Austin would have gotten his ass beat, okay? So Candace did the right thing. But I say all of this with a point. No, it's not just an excuse for me to just really be shitty, although that's definitely part of it. I genuinely fear, with the way they're positioning this faction, and especially with what happened tonight, that Austin Theory is going to be our next North American champion. And I hate it.
No.
I really hate it.
No.
Yeah, but it hurts me too.
But he's not even good.
I know, bud, but you're going to
When was the last time we had a North American champion who wasn't even good?
Oh, God.
Never.
Yeah, look, I know it's hard.
Can we keep it that way, please?
No, bud. I mean, we may. I'm just saying this is something that I'm worried about. But thankfully, TWitWoW will always be here to cover it, even when I'm wondering what Austin Theory and other people are doing with my life and my time, which are infinitely more valuable. Javora said, I'd rather have Bronson Reed, and it's bad when I don't just immediately say no.
No, I actually fully agree. I'd rather Bronson Reed be the North American champion than Austin Theory. If I had to pick between one of them, it's 100% Reed.
Yeah, because you know something? I will say this about Reed, even though, again, I'll never lie and I'll never back down. I do find him incredibly boring. I think he has a better packaging right now than Austin Theory.
Yeah, the presentation is actually there with him.
Exactly. So,
Alex Foster, I would take Kona over Theory as long as he got
yes.
Enough.
No, I actually want to spend a second on this because I know, we've spent all year joking about it. Alex, you need to understand something. I'm pretty meh on Kona. Again, I will not deny that. but like he'd probably get a few laughs out of me. And you know something else? I'd be invested in him losing that title. Whereas with Austin Theory, like I would just be so bored by the matches because at least Kona Reeves would have, okay, how long are they going to do this? He might even have like a Bo Dallas-esque reign where he works me into just really fucking hating this shit. So no, Kona Reeves at least has that talent because, you know, at least he's a modicum of what we call talented. Austin Theory, who I'll never forget when everybody was praising him, and even I thought he'd be something special. My God, Jesus Christ. So
imagine giving Austin Theory this much of a platform when Eric Bugenhagen is in the stands.
Where is he? You broke me. I was so put together. I'm like, we're talking about Io, we're talking about the main event, and you mentioned that name, and I'm just like, where the fuck is he? Where is he? This fucking... I know I've been, like, calling Pat McAfee a Chad, and he 100% is. Let's never forget that. But, like, god damn... This dude just emanates. I'm going to score the winning touchdown at the championship game and walk off with your girlfriend like Dolph Ziggler wishes he could fucking do, but actually do it because look at me. Look at me. And he's in the fucking crowd.
I feel like Rick Boogs is that dude that should be in Old Spice commercials.
Dude, first of all, yes. Yes, I don't want to act like I didn't hear what you said. I did hear it. Yes. Second of all, what the fuck? Like, when is it... He's going to get released, dude. I'm telling you right now, he's going to get released. It's going to be a point where they're going to look at that and say, we've got nothing for you. And also he's like, so I get to work with Johnny now? Yeah, yes, Austin, yes. You can go away. We wrote the match, you got 20 minutes. Yay, Austin, take over. I want to die. What the fuck is this?
That was a 9 out of 10 squee. That was downright.
Dude, just because we're clearly on our silly shit, so I really don't give a fuck anymore because you've been silly too, I legitimately thought for a second you were going to be like, that was a nihilist squee, and I was going to be like, you're not even wrong.
Oh my god, I'm done.
The squeak wall! Oh my god.
Stop!
You know you don't want me to. You're having more fun than an actual Austin Theory matchup.
Oh my god, my eyes are still watering now.
You know, fucking hell. Io gets overall competitor of the year. So proud of you, Io.
Yay!
You deserve this.
She got such a short promo. I wanted to hear more from her.
I know, because your English isn't even, like, bad, Io, and we're just so proud of you, and you deserve all the things, and great job, and really all credit goes to this beautiful motherfucker, because he's been standing you from day one, and I know I'm late, but I'm happy to be here, because you're just astounding. So, very proud of Io. She should be very proud of what she's done for the division. Really, she should be proud of what she's done for women's wrestling, period, just her entire career. Then we get Gargano versus Ruff main event. I'm sorry, I don't know why. Just what we just got done doing. I'm still kind of recovering from that. But that main event was genuinely good. I did genuinely enjoy it. It was really refreshing, actually, to see Leon Ruff show out and be able to actually compete. Because I thought, honestly, the match is going to be nothing more than, like, Leon trying quick pins or flash pins. And then Johnny just, like, has that moment where the switch is flipped, and he just, like, brutalizes him.
Yeah.
And there were, like, quick pins in there, which makes sense for the Leon Ruff character. That doesn't make me mad at all. I'm just glad that we actually got to see Leon Ruff offense. In fact, one thing that stands out in my mind, dude, his corkscrew cannonball in the corner was I've never seen anything like that. That was beautiful. Johnny sold really well, which I think, again, and this isn't even a diss, I still think his selling is like his best trait, even though his comedy is starting to get there with me. Because that cutter that he sold
to the outside
on him on the floor, that was great. Because he was like, I felt like he was almost like seizuring in a way, and it's just like, oh shit.
I straight up wish I would have paid more attention to the move, but I was distracted by Vic Joseph calling it a fucking flatliner.
Yeah, dude, you're right. You're right. I actually forgot that he did that. Fuck. So
I was seething. I get so worked by petty bullshit.
I know, but I'm here for you. So it's okay. And yeah, man, and again, credit to Ruff, which it's so funny because, again, I want to be careful with my wording here. I'm not saying Ruff is just like Johnny Gargano, But, like, with Ruff being a babyface, he does have some of those Gargano babyface traits. Like, I've already said that I love how this dude bumps his ass off and the way he sells. And, like, that was really exemplified for me with the finish, where, like, Leon's kind of doing the punches up top. It seems like maybe he's going for, like, a top rope Frankenstein or something. Johnny slips out, and he gets him in powerbomb position, and he just drops him on the top turnbuckle. I don't think he caught the ring post, thank goodness. But it was, like, really close. And Leon was just done after that. And, he got the final beat, the slingshot DDT, to finally retain and break the curse. And he licked the title, and it was weird. And I'm pretty sure Candice has questions when they get home. But it was a really solid title defense. I enjoyed it.
Johnny, I saw you making eyes with that championship.
Yeah. And he's just watching his fucking Royal Rumble 98 VHS tape or something, or he's close to WrestleMania season. Maybe he's watching like WrestleMania 6. Shh, not now, Candice. God, I'm just enjoying being...
Johnny, our marriage is on the line right now. You need to pay attention to me.
Yeah. Oh, Candice, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
God damn it. That's the third time that you've gotten me to gutter a laugh in this show.
I think it's just because I don't care. And, like, I'm just doing what I want now because we've clearly crossed the threshold. So, I also, and speaking of that, I love how cheeky Wade Barrett is on commentary at times because I don't even know.
The Miz comment?
Beg pardon?
You talking about the Miz comment?
No. What
oh
was
my
comment,
God. He said something about beating the Miz and Vic Joseph. Oh, they were talking about, this was back during the Grand Metalik match. Vic Joseph was like, oh, Metalik, he beat the Miz on Monday. And Barrett said, oh, I beat the Miz. And Joseph was like, oh, you beat the Miz? And he was just like, yeah, beat the Miz. Everyone's beating the Miz.
I was actually talking more like his wink, wink, nudge, nudge comment to Beth. I even forget what the setup for this was. And because I think Beth was like, oh, and that could be bad news for so-and-so. And he's like, I quite like bad news, bad. And I'm like, dude, I would tell you to sit down, but you already are. So what exactly is the fucking problem?
Dude, I'm going to miss the hell out of Morrow, but I'm glad Barrett got started when he did because he could make an honest run at commentator of the year 2021.
Dude, yes. Like, he's just perfect, dude. He's not extra. Because, like, he doesn't even, like... And I love Morrow for this because Morrow can pull it off. But he doesn't have, like, that everywhere, like, oh, I'm going to get up out of my seat and be, like, a bit louder because I'm getting into it. No, he's calm, he's cool, and he occasionally, like, fucking burns your ass. I love it.
He knows when to turn up. He uses it up as a tool.
Exactly. So, yeah, Gargano retains in the main event. We pan to Dexter Lumis, host of New Year's Evil next week. And again, that's where we learn about Metalik versus Escobar, and that closes out NXT. So let's get to our next segment, high spots and low shots. My low shot is Leon Ruff because
makes sense.
I do like him. It's nothing against him, but this North American Championship kind of scene was really the biggest thing going for him before when he was just enhancement talent and really just a straight up jobber. And I just feel like he's going to go back to that now. And then when they want to, like, rev him up again, they'll have him get some, like, crazy upset win over somebody, and then they'll just do it, whatever. But right now, he's back at the bottom to me. So, yeah, he's my low shot. Who's your low shot?
I hate to do this. I think this is the second time that I've actually done this month, but it's got to be Swerve, man.
You really hate to see it. I can't even blame you, though.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's against like a super heavyweight, but you got to be able to compete with those guys if you want any actual shot at any world titles anytime soon. And this match, really, this kind of told me that I should temper my expectations for how high Swerve's going to be allowed to get in this company. And it's really tragic to me.
Well, that was just the right amount of depressing for a low shot. Great job, bud.
Yeah.
High spot, you know what? Just because I don't know why that line really stuck with me, Mercedes Martinez.
Oh.
I guess I really am that white boy that's easily impressed because when she's like, every woman in this place are on my radar, click, click, I'm like, oh my God, she just imitated a gun. We are fucked. So...
It was made so much better by the fact that her music did it right afterwards, though.
Dude, that is what sent me. I'm like, oh man, we are double fucked because the Theme did it with her, which means it's happening. Oh my god, it's happening.
It's like that fucking Vince McMahon meme where it's his reactions to, I think it was like a Stacy Keibler lap dance or some shit like that. He's and the first frame is like all the women in that locker room. Oh, you're on my radar. Oh, click. Oh, and then the music does it. And it's like, whoa.
Gangs move. So who is your high spot?
My high spot is going to be honorary high spot to Gargano because he did break the curse. He retained after, all these years of him not being able to retain a title quickly. But my actual high spot goes to the Grizzled Young Vets for a great match and just scaring the shit out of Everrise just generally and knowing now that we got a Dusty Classic, knowing that they're probably going to win that. So GYV gets my high spot.
You know what? I love that. That was great. Yeah, let's fucking do it. Yeah. So with that said, guys, this has been NXT. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my corner commentary action. Guys, be sure to like the videos you file out. The more likes you leave, the more likely we are to be the top search result for NXT reviews on YouTube. And when you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place that you belong. So please leave that like. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell icon for notifications so you never again miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Be sure to comment down below when this video is done processing. How extra did you think the Rhea Raquel video package was? Did you agree with NXT's year-end awards? What would you have done differently? How hyped are you for New Year's Evil next week? And what are you anticipating for NXT in 2021? Looking ahead to the future, I do just want to make a quick reminder. Our year-end awards are tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I cannot fucking wait.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so good. Yeah, I love that. I love that energy. It's gonna be great. You're going to want to join us for that. But just taking a step back real quick, guys, check out everything we're a part of in the description box, including our Twitter handles. On Ashton's Twitter, his pinned tweet is the TWitWoW schedule. December's practically over. We've got one big thing, two big things, of course, coming up tomorrow. I'm so focused on year-end awards, but we're also doing Q&A. So that's at 4 p.m. We're going live with that really early. And I know Foster's been here for enough recordings that he knows that. So I trust you to do with that information what you will. Foster, and he says he already has his questions ready. So proud of you. I'm so goddamn proud of you. If anybody else wants to submit questions, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Discord. Non-Patreon donors get 3 Q&A questions. But if you're like, yeah, I understand that, but I have more questions. Well, then you're in luck. Because if you donate $1 to the TWitWoW Patreon, you get 2 extra questions. That's 5 questions, which is more than 3 for $1. That's like a steal. So get in on that. And yeah, that's again going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, for the Patreon, you can see our breakdown of everything that we offer. The other big thing is access to the TWitWoW Discord. TWitWoW Discord is only $3 a month. And we've started now traditions of, I think we mainly try and do it, on Mondays, during Raw when we're not reviewing it, which we'll have to see next month how that breaks down. Because again, we break it all down on the Patreon. We do Among Us, and we play that, and it's a lot of fun. And I'm getting better at the game, which definitely makes me feel happy inside. So yeah, be sure to join us for those. It's a great time. Ashton's really good at the game. It's a bit unnerving. And so yeah, you'll want to join us for that. Let's see what else here. You guys really should check out the Teespring. Maybe we need to revamp that in 2021. I don't know. I need to get better at marketing that. I'd like us to sell a few shirts. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, we still have a Teespring for anybody that cares. It exists. We have shirts. We have mugs. We have things. Okay. And let me think. What am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. I think I'm pretty fucking good at this.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, Wrestle Kingdom, when even is that? That's January 4th, right?
It's Monday and Tuesday.
Okay, January 4th. And
we should definitely do a preview, which I'll leave it up to you whether we do that Saturday or Sunday. Or Friday, if you want.
If we do it Saturday, can we do it at 9? Are you opposed
to
that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I like my time with my family, and Chris goes to work on Saturdays now. So, yeah, okay, I'll make it official here. I get to do it this time. We're going to be doing Wrestle Kingdom preview predictions Saturday at 9. Holy fuck. Okay, yeah, we're previewing the fuck out of it. Guys, and just let me know, because you're probably closer to the schedule than I am. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but what times are we going live Monday and Tuesday for Wrestle Kingdom? Because I'm guessing Monday it's going to be pretty early, and then Tuesday I don't know if that's like a different time. So
Probably three both days.
Okay, 3 both days. Shit. Okay. Yeah, guys, we're going hard at it. We are really going hard at it. So 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday and Tuesday, January 4th and 5th for Wrestle Kingdoms Night 1 and 2. Live reactions. You're going to want to be there for that. Yeah, January's already looking like it's going to be freaking stacked. Definitely going to have to talk to Ash about some stuff, because I know I do have some stuff I want to handle this month. So I hope it doesn't conflict with our recordings. But yeah, we've got Q&A tomorrow, 4 p.m. Year-end awards, 7 p.m. And then Saturday, Wrestle Kingdom preview and predictions. Monday and Tuesday, 3 p.m. Wrestle Kingdom Night 1 and 2. Live reactions. Can't tell you how great it feels to support both Stardom World and New Japan World, so we can just ease into it, be relaxed, and fucking enjoy the show. Gonna enjoy you guys as well. I know Javaris sure hyped as fuck. I want you to know, bud, I'm here with both celebratory hugs and grieving hugs, depending on the results of the matches that you really care about. So I've got you. I've got you, man. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Get your Q&A questions in, and more than that, get hyped and get a comfortable seat for year-end awards, because we're going balls deep in this bitch. So that's it, guys. That's it for me. That's all I can think of. As always, be good to yourselves and each other. Keep staying safe out there. I know a lot's happening. By the way, if anybody's already gotten their $600 stimulus, I have not yet, but congratulations to those that have. I'm glad the fortune is favoring you right now. And for those that haven't, I guess we'll just have to be patient and ride the wave together. So with that said, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Till then, tune in. Peace out.